Without a shadow of a doubt, it's the Crunkest Show in social media history. I want to welcome you to another episode of the War Zone. I got my man in the building, Donovan Sadiq. I got the queen, Demetra Kaye. And I am the five-star general. Charles Barkley said it years ago, he wasn't a role model. Maxine said Megan Thee Stallion is a role model. For real? So now we teaching our children how to pop they wop, huh? We're going to talk about it tonight. Let's go at it. Say, man, I want to welcome you to another episode of the War Zone and tell you thank you for tuning in. I'm going to tell you now, I'm going to rub some dirt on it tonight. Finally, they let me escape from the hospital. So, I try to keep y'all abreast of what's going on, and we got to go back after Christmas and have another procedure. And it's not bad. We just got to finish up some things we couldn't get to this time. And then after that, then I go have bariatric surgery in January. Yeah, I'm going to do the weight loss surgery because I'm tired of being a fat ass boy. I want to wear some bikini drawers too. So, it is what it is. I want some bikini boxers too. So, after that, then we go back in and then we have the big surgery to reconnect my colon. But in the meantime, I want to tell every single one of y'all, thank y'all for riding. You ride or die with me when I go through all this. And people say, man, why you always telling people everything you do? Because a lot of days you're the only family that I got. You're the only family that I got. And I wanna thank each and every one of y'all for all the well wishes. And let's just get to it. I will say this here that tomorrow night, if you don't look at the school board meetings, you might want to look at the school board meeting tomorrow night on Facebook. Comes on at 5. I got something to say. And I'm not gonna say what I'm gonna say, but I got something to say. But then Friday is the big day. I mean, 2 years ago I embarked on a journey, and I'm halfway there. I'm gonna say I'm halfway there. I'm a junior in college now. About to start in January at Lamar University to get my bachelor's degree in criminal justice. But Friday, because of a good principal and some kids over at Jackie A. Senior High School, I get to go across the stage and virtually. So that's why you ain't got all them live. I can't be there. No, you gonna be there. Virtually, we got a graduation ceremony to do Friday at 6 o'clock. I'm gonna post a link. And I'm telling people this so that you'll get it. I'm not hustling no money. A lot of people call me, inbox me, man, I want to get you something for graduation. Well, guess what? I give you my cash out, and whatever y'all send me, I'm gonna use it to buy my books. I'm taking 18 hours a semester. I'm fast tracking this. I don't want to be in school for another 2-3 years. So I'm doing 18 hours in the spring, 18 hours in the summer, 18 hours in the fall, and I'm done with my bachelor's. I should be done. So, if you want to send me something, I'm going to post a link. Whatever I don't use for books, I'm going to put it towards the campaign for me to run for the school board in November. And God bless all of y'all for what you do and how you do it. And, thank you for tuning in to these two good African-American people and this crazy-ass black Republican. Because ain't shit changed. But for those that think, oh, man, he been sick and, man, God done let me recharge my batteries. I'm finna bring hell on earth to some people around here. From Houston to Lafayette to wherever. You finna get the business now, boy. I got a brand new battery pack in my back, and I'm ready to go. Donovan, what's going on, my friend?
All right. Welcome. And again, congratulations on your journey through education. What I don't understand is people figure they get an associate degree or they get a trade school degree or they get a bachelor's degree, that's all the education that they have to learn. Education is a life learning situation. Okay. So especially young people, you're going to regret the fact that you're waiting, not getting your degree, if that's what you want to do, because time is money and money is time. And if you're a young person, that means you're missing out on a lot of money. So congratulations to you to walk that. I went to every one of my graduations, and let me tell you, had a ball at all of them. Trust me. 2 times I walked across the stage drunk. 2 times. So,
well, I chose criminal justice for a reason, because I see that our people, they tend to need good attorneys sometimes, and a lot of days our people can't afford the high-priced attorneys. So what I want to do is I've already made my mind up. I'm gonna go to law school after I finish the bachelor's, knock this out, and then I'm gonna go get my master's. But the thing is I want to open up a law firm to be able to help poor people so that they can have a decent attorney, but not pay a whole bunch of money, man. You know, because some days we just don't have it like that. We just don't have it like that. But I know that there are days that people just need a good attorney for a fraction of what it actually costs. You feel what I'm saying? So that's why for me it was a no-brainer. And want to thank, I talked to my principal today from Yates Senior High School, where I went to school, Miss Tiffany Guillory. We laugh about it, and I told her, you better have your behind on there Friday at 6 o'clock when I go through. You know, when they put my little picture up or whatever, I say, because you started all this, and we laughed about it. But she's a good person. She saw something in me that I did not believe that I could accomplish. I know I can accomplish anything, but I didn't think I would do as well as I did. And it was just motivating for me to be able to do it so the kids could see. If this dude can do this at 52 years old, I'd be damn I can't do it at 17, 18. All you got to do is just stop and focus. If you stop and focus, you can get that shit out the way. But you need all the education that you can get, and it is what it is. Hey, Ms. Demetra, what's going on?
Everything. So, hello, everybody. Welcome to Wednesday night edition of the War Zone. And if you could do us a favor, share this video so everybody can get the information and join in on the conversation. As you guys can see, last night we didn't get a chance to talk about Maxine Waters and Megan Thee Stallion collab. They collab. There's actually more to the story. But anyway, I was reading an article right before I got on here, and it was saying how, especially in Texas, that it said the food banks will be out of food by the end of this year. It says that 2.5 million households, I think it's in Texas. So Texas altogether, 2.5 million are having a food shortage. And it says out of those households, 66% of those are either Black or Hispanic households. And so, as you can see, the pandemic has done a number on, and I'll just go ahead and say people of color to encompass Black people and Hispanics, but, you know, especially Black people. And it's just a sign of what's of more to come, because, you know, we always, as they say, when America catches a cold, Black people catch the flu. And so we are definitely catching the flu in every way, shape, and form. And so the fact that 66% of those 2.5 million households in Texas are Black or Hispanic, that's very telling. And so if there's a food shortage, what else is there really lacking? Because, you know, at the end of the day, you're going to buy food first, I would think, right? So that goes to show you that, you know, rent is lacking, utilities, you know, car payments, just everyday necessities. Those things are also lacking. So pay attention, and we need to learn how to do for self. And then really quickly, I saw another meme that says that Madam C.J. Walker started her business during the midst of the Spanish flu pandemic. So just food for thought.
Well, I'm gonna let you crank it up. We were talking about Maxine saying that Megan was I guess a role model, you know, and I'm gonna let you crank it up, and you can read that she actually wrote Megan a letter, from what I understand, and you can take it from there, Mama.
All right, so let me go ahead and find this letter. Actually, okay. So what had happened was yesterday, I guess Maxine Waters wrote a letter to Megan Thee Stallion, and the letter said the following. And between the three of us and you all in the comment section, we are going to dissect it and, you know, give our own not so professional opinion about it. Okay, here we go. Dear Megan, I read the op-ed you wrote that appeared in the New York Times. I have to blow it up. You know, my eyes are getting old. New York Times recently, and I can't thank you enough for bringing much needed attention to the plight of Black women, not just here in the United States, but everywhere. You are so right that Black women have paved the way and have done so by leading with courage and bravery. There is also this notion, which you touched upon, that we as Black women have the ability to bear a heavier burden than everyone else in this society. That notion contributes to the lack of care and attention to the issues that specifically affect us. While we are too often overlooked, there is no doubt that Black women are a glue for our families and communities and a crucial part of the fabric of this country. We see that in your career and your tremendous success, despite the obstacles that have come your way. I write all of this to say that I am so incredibly proud of you and how you have used your voice to uplift Black women. I know that Black women and girls everywhere thank you for the way you so fiercely have their back. I want you to know that I have your back too. I hope that during these trying times, you take comfort in knowing that I am fighting for you and all Black women every single day. Stay well and keep fighting and take care. We need your voice in this fight. Warm regards, Maxine Water, Member of Congress.
What they smoking up in Congress, man? Say I'm back, man. I'm telling you, you might as well share this video, man. Share this video because I'm not finna hold back on this here. Let me try this a different way. Let's say Eartha Kitt, Ella Fitzgerald. You feel what I'm saying? Barbara Jordan. You know, we can go to entertainers, Sissy Houston. We can go to, you know, my girl Shirley Caesar. Those were role models for Black women. I've never seen them in a thong. I've never seen their underwear. I've never seen their ass. I've never seen them twerking. But the thing is, the type of music that she does is so condescending for a member of Congress to say what she just said, but yet you condemn the male rappers who spit in the same rhetoric. They the worst that walk the face of the earth some days, but you feel Megan is uplifting? I will say this here, because I know her peoples without me ever knowing her, that if your mama was still here, you wouldn't be doing some of the shit that you're doing. No, this is a business, lady. And if you're going to set the example, the best role models I see is these hard-working Black women, especially these single Black women taking care of these households and these kids. You know what I'm saying? These are role models. But baby, what you portraying right now, all you doing is trying to make sure that they have a goddamn job fair at the strip club when they graduate. No, you're not. That ain't role model type shit right there, Donovan.
I mean, I'm in shock. I'm in shock for the simple fact that Megan Thee Stallion's music has a parental discretion advisory sticker. Not saying that it makes it bad music or whatever, but just like you said, when the Black rappers were doing it, oh my God, how could they? They're degrading women and, you know, and the misogyny, and it's just, they're just so disrespectful. But see, this goes back to my point that Demetra and I always talk about, where you have generation fail, which is baby boomer generation. They've been in power too long. Why would a member of Congress want to associate themselves with a Megan Thee Stallion and what she's putting out on the airwaves? Because when I think of Megan Thee Stallion, I think of big butt, big titties, getting my head blown, strip club, you know, whatever, you know, everything that's basically what would be considered negative and anti-societal according to Congress. And this old bag who doesn't live far from me, instead of worrying about her district and stop worrying about somebody who doesn't even live, it's not even a constituent of hers. She, you know, it's like she's more concerned of rubbing elbows with the rich and the famous than she is about taking care of her district. And once again, if you guys don't know this, Maxine Waters, has one of the worst districts in the Congress. So bad so they made a stadium and made about 15,000 people homeless doing it.
Megan is highly talented. I'll give her that. I'll give you that, young lady. You're highly talented. But you've allowed the industry to pimp you the way that they normally do. They normally do it. You see what I'm saying? I just feel that the image that she portrays is just totally, it's in left field. Now, my sisters, I think we have to understand something. That if we're going to be consistent with criticism, we got to pass it across the board from the males to the females. So let's try this here, because a lot of women want to give Maxine a pass on this. And they want to say, well, Megan, she doing some great things. Okay, so when Tory Lanez supposedly shot her ass in the foot, you drug him. We need to cancel this motherfucker. That's what y'all was saying. Okay, but this little girl the other day, the R&B singer, shoots her boyfriend in the fucking head. And now we talking about free her. No, it don't work like that. You want a role model? I'm gonna take it back to Cube and NWA. What they did is they fought for the constitutional right to be able to say what the fuck they wanted to say. You feel what I'm saying? This is not what Megan or people like her are doing. Now the thing is Jay-Z, you know, God bless him. You got her where you need her right now. But see, she don't really get it. You know, because you inside the door now. You can be whatever you want to be now. You in there. Now, I'm not telling you to go and make some Public Enemy type music all day long. You know, I'm not telling you to do that. I talked to my good friend. He called and checked on me today, Brad Jordan, Mr. Scarface. And say, man, somebody called me, man, want me to do a song on some positive shit. He say, ain't a motherfucking thing going on positive right now. I can't do that song. You see what I'm saying? But if you're going to be out here portraying the image of somebody that young girls can look up to, can you do it a different way? Can you please do it a different way? You know, as I need my sisters to grab hold to her. I need you to create a hashtag. Because as soon as one of these young gunners, these young dudes start calling her a bitch, then you're gonna have something to say. But this is what you're portraying. And then Maxine Waters, man, Master P would say it best. She gone on that water. Maxine gone on that water, man. And these people gonna say anything that they can say to stay relevant, to get a vote. And now we finna run out of food, according to Demetra. Y'all gave away too many turkeys, man. Y'all gave away too many turkeys. Megan, you could be the perfect role model if you would take control of your career and present the image that these young girls need to see. That these young girls need to see. Everything ain't Gucci and Louis Vuitton. Not where I come from. And Jay-Z, not where you come from either, homeboy. But I know you've been in a fictitious world your whole goddamn career. Like you was the big badass drug dealer and you wasn't doing nothing but standing around while your homeboy sold the dope. So, you know.
Wasn't he Hawaiian Sophie? He was a hype man for the Jazz.
I don't know what he was, but I just know that right now, she is not a role model to me. Not the image that she's portraying. And I think our young girls need something else to grab hold to. They need to see a role model like Demetra. They need to see a role model like some of these business owners that's on here that you put these names up of these companies. Those are role models. You see what I'm saying? Not be a role model for an industry that ain't doing nothing but pimping. I'm just telling y'all, when they put them people in Forbes, they made $40 million this year. The record label made $40 million. The record label made $40 million. They ain't made a motherfucking thing. Why don't you go figure out how many of them soldiers from the No Limit era back in the projects? If they was making all this money, then so be it. But at the same time, It is what it is. She's not a role model. And Demetra, you the lady on the program. How you feel about all this shit, please?
To me, it's a little bit shocking that someone as old as Maxine would write. I mean, I guess I understood a lot of the stuff she was saying as far as, you know, Black women, you know, are glued to the, you know, family and all that. I get all of that, but to say that Megan has been a role model and she's grateful and all of that is just a little weird. I mean, Maxine is what, in her 70s? You know, you would think that she would know better. And Megan is 25, 26. And so it's a little bit disturbing that someone like Maxine Waters, who's supposed to be a pillar in a lot of people's community. I mean, when you think of Maxine Waters, you think of Auntie Maxine. Auntie Maxine, she's claiming her time. You know, Auntie, she don't play that and all of that. And so here she is, merging with that of Megan Thee Stallion. And again, I never try to indict Megan Thee Stallion as being a bad person, because I agree with you, Gary. She is being used. My daughter and I was having this conversation earlier about a lot of these young artists who are together, like they do these, collabs with these older rappers. Like some chick named Mulatto. She has a collab with Gucci Mane, and she's 20. I think she's 20. She's just barely 20, 21, and Gucci is obviously older. But the things she was saying was just like, like, really? Like, where is the old, like somebody with some sense to say, you know what, that sounds good, but I personally can't be on a record with you because you're a child, essentially. I know you're 20, but you're a child to me. But the things you were saying are like, I'm almost old enough to be your daddy. I mean, I don't know how old Gucci Mane is, but I would imagine he probably is old enough to be your father. And so, you know, these women are being used, but to hear Maxine go off and say that she's a role model, we know Megan is not. She's a role model, but she's not a good role model. And then somebody will say, well, you know, she's going to school, and why don't we ever hear more about that than we do her shaking her butt? You know, I never like, and I'm with Donovan. You know, anytime you hear anybody reference Megan Thee Stallion, it's always about her butt and her boobs, and it's never about her as a person. It's about her physically. And so Maxine is uplifting Megan as a role model. And then there's a lot of young girls who look up to Megan Thee Stallion and the City Girls and, you know, all these other, you know, women. And I'll use that word loosely. But I just feel like our girls don't have a chance. And Maxine Waters really should be ashamed of herself. So Gucci is 38. And this girl Mulatto's 20, 21. I mean, essentially, he's old enough to be your father. You know, if he was having kids at 17, 18, he's older. He's too old to be on a collab, but she's talking about sucking and all of that, right? So, yeah, these young girls are being used. They're being pimped. They're being pimped. And then Maxine, and I agree with Janelle. I don't think that Maxine has heard her lyrics. There's no way that Maxine Waters is sitting up in her Range Rover listening to WAP or Body or, you know, Bitch, because that's the name of the song she has. And any of those songs that Megan, I seriously doubt that she's. Wait
a minute. Wait. You didn't see the video of Maxine and Megan and Cardi B?
No.
Oh, man, they're all doing the, no. What do you call that remix?
No, I haven't seen that. But yeah, I think if she would had listened to those lyrics, I don't think that she would be. But this is the other thing, though. Where are all the other women calling Maxine out? Where are the other women in high places saying, hey, you know what, Maxine, come here, let me tell you something. You know, Megan is cool and all of that, but have you heard her lyrics? That's not something you should be co-signing. Where is the outcry for that? And I want to end with this. Anne Marie is the rapper, R&B singer, whatever it was, from Chicago. She blew her boyfriend, her side dude. It was her side dude. She blew his head off and killed him. And she said the gun had fell off the table and accidentally, you know, killed him and shot him in the head. But the other part of that is, to your point, Gary, about Tory Lanez. You had a lot of people canceling Tory Lanez, dragging him. But on the other side of that, you know, this chick, Anne Marie, who shot her side dude in the head, you know, they're like, oh, well, that's why you don't be cheating. You don't know who you playing with. You shouldn't be playing with people's emotions. And that's what he get. And I was like,
there is definitely a war on men, especially black men. within the last 3 years, I have seen so much put on Black men to do this, to do that. If once we do step in, how dare you tell us what to do and da da da. But you know, this is that. It's just crazy. Now, as a Black man, I'm just saying my opinion. I feel attacked at every inch or angle. The brothers that stand up, y'all slap them down. The brothers that don't stand up, you talk shit about them. You women, a lot of these women, the Megan Thee Stallions and Nicki Minaj's, they monopolize their body, and they can do that. But then you get mad because all we see you is as a material thing. I mean, so I'm confused at what you expect us to do at this point. And then at the end of the day, a lot of you sisters have good men. Don't get me wrong. But the ones that don't are sitting there complaining and talk about, why can't I find a good man? Why can't I do this? I'm sorry, young ladies. I'm not in the music game, but Demetra will tell you, I have a lot of music. I like to listen to a lot of different type of music. If every lyric, all you can talk about is how much dick you can suck and how much D up the booty you can get, there's not much substance there. I'm sorry. I'm just sorry.
Well, that's the one thing that you touch on that I always try to educate the youngsters on when they come to me about the music. I don't know if I told y'all this, but one time one of my classmates called me and wanted me to talk to her niece who wanted to be in the music game. So I told her, send her to the house. So when she got to the house, I told her, stand up. She stood up. I'm sitting behind my desk. And I say, turn around. She turned around. I say, Shawty, you ain't got enough ass for what you finna have to go through. You ain't got enough ass for what you finna have to go through. And I'm just being honest with y'all because that's the way it is. You know, when you talk about the substance in the way that these folks write these lyrics, you know, a lot of people, when they listen to my stuff, you know, and I got tons of music on YouTube, and they listen to it, it blows them away because they like, man, that shit there is so raw, man. It's tight. And man, I wrote that shit 12 years ago. I was ahead of my time. So when I write, and ex-wife told me one time, first wife, you know, after about 12 years of marriage, she sat me down one day. She said, you know what? I never really knew that everything that you wrote, you actually did. You actually did it. That's why it's so easy for me to write, because I only write about what I see and what I live. You see what I'm saying? So I want people to understand that if Mulatto, you know, who's a youngster, they sucking dick at 17, 18 years old. They licking booty at 17, 18 years old. This is why they can write about it so eloquently. You feel what I'm saying? But the kicker is they just find the right person. Now I want y'all to try this one day. One day I said, let me look at something because I need to see. What is it about female artists, whether R&B, rap, whatever? And I say, well, I'm going to pull up the 10 best female artists. When I pulled them up, all of them had something in common. One, none of them were ugly. They were nice looking women. And in that top 10, you had the Lights, you had the Queen Latifahs. You see what I'm saying? You had women that had substance. You had the yo-yos. You know, I'm like, now this is what I'm talking about right here. You see what I'm saying? So when you listen to the War Zone in the morning, the radio show, and I go into the old school hip hop mix at 7:30 in the mornings, and I'm playing the real old school hip hop, so you can't even penetrate the playlist unless you was really talking about something. You see what I'm saying? Look at the content of Public Enemy. All they ever did was try to uplift the black people. They cut them boys up so bad, it was ridiculous. It was ridiculous the way they were cutting, chucking them up. You see what I'm saying? But then you go get somebody like Old Dirty Bastard who don't give a damn what he say. Oh, he the shit. And I love Old Dirty. You feel what I'm saying? I love New York hip hop. I love West Coast. I love it. I love the whole aura about West Coast hip hop. And the thing is when you say, man, I done took trips, man. Because if I was gonna be in the music game, I had to go to Mecca. So you know goddamn well I was in the middle of South Central Los Angeles. I was in Jordan Downs. I was in the jungle. You know, when Oakland was hot, I was in Oakland for about 5 minutes till them police jammed us up, and I got the hell up out of Oakland. I had to go to Brooklyn. You see what I'm saying? I had to research these people. And then once I understood the music game and the devils that actually run it, they found the right one with Megan because she fits the mold. So now what they do, the reason it sounds so good, y'all, and they can flow it so well, Donovan and Demetra, because that ain't Megan writing that. That's a dude writing that. It's a dude writing that. Now think about it. Jermaine Dupri biggest hits, Bow Wow's biggest hits. The Brat wrote that shit. How much did the Lady of Rage write when she was on death row? You see what I'm saying? All you do is you flip it because we can see something from the female side that they can't even see in themselves. So I'm gonna fantasize about Megan sucking my dick while I'm writing this song and blam and ooh, that wet ass pussy and all that. Okay, now I'm gonna shoot this over to Megan. All you gotta do is learn this shit. We do it all the time. That's not being a role model. I'm just telling y'all it's not being a role model. So if you ever get the opportunity to listen to my stuff, what you gonna hear from me, I'm a hustler. And all I talk about is making money. That's all I talk about. One of the best, greatest female rappers that I've ever had the opportunity to work with. You'd have to go back in time. Her name is Simple E. She lives in West Hollywood. That's my partner. She lives in West Hollywood. And this is the most talented female rapper I have ever laid eyes on. But I've never seen her pop her pussy. I've never seen her in a thong. What she can teach you, young ladies, if you want to be in the industry, is how not to allow the industry to pimp you and you get everything that you're supposed to get out the industry. Or I give it about a year or two. You're going to see what happens to Nicki Minaj when the true numbers of the money that she made starts coming out, and then your ass is broke. You feel what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, man, my name on YouTube is Mr. EBWD. You know, and I got mixtapes that I never released. That if I would release this shit right now, it would fuck up the whole industry. Because it is what it is. It is what it is.
Quick, real quick. When you say Simple E, is it the same Simple E that had the hit song Play My Phone?
That's my girl. Matter of fact, I can go get the song on YouTube. We did a song together. And this is the only female I ever saw that could go blow for blow with me on a track. And I'm going to be honest with y'all. If you've never heard me, you might say, oh, he ain't that good. Shit. I done made some platinum motherfuckers go hide in the back room. I done made them go hide. But the one thing I never did is compromise myself as an artist. I refuse to do that. And I think that's what needs to happen with these female artists. But for Maxine to say Megan is a role model, not with the shit she doing, I can't fall for that one. Donovan?
Yeah, you know, and it's just like Demetra said, where are the women correcting Maxine? Even if Maxine is, you know, had too much Geritol, she's overdosed on her Geritol and she's not doing that. Where are the women that are saying, wait a minute, you know, Maxine, do you know what you're talking about? That, you know, it kind of reminds me of, remember back in the 90s when Eazy-E got invited to the Republican convention and everybody lost their shit? And Eazy-E was like, look, I'm not even a Republican. I paid $1,300 contribution for $1 million worth of press. You know, it was just one of those things. But, you know, but the minute they found Eazy-E was coming to the Republican convention, they were like, wait a minute, hold up. This guy's a gangster. He, you know, negative music. You know, they checked him basically. And the George Bush people. Where are the people doing that for Maxine? Maxine is not that powerful, but it does tell me how out of touch Maxine is. And she's been out of touch for a very, very long time. Demetra?
So Art, how you doing? You say Megan is my cousin. She's just playing a role. Well, I mean, I believe you when you say she's playing a role, but what kind of consequences does that role have? And, you know, and for her and for anybody else who is listening to her, anybody who's watching her, like, what is that really doing? And at what cost is she really willing to role play? You know,
well, Demetra, I'm gonna cut you off, but wasn't Stephen Fetchit playing a role? Could you kind of elaborate with that?
Yeah, so, you know, and just to finish this point, you know, it's dangerous to play a role, and I get it. You know, there's money involved, and, you know, but at the end of the day, when your WAP is not so wet and your ass is not so high, and, you know, your twerking knees wear out, what will you have? Because I always think about people who start where Megan started, as far as bam, here's everything. You get to see everything. It's like, you know, once your twerking knees wear out, I'm probably not going to want to listen to you talk about solving world peace or anything else, because I don't take you seriously. And so, to tie in what Donovan said about Stephen Fetchit, his name was last name was Perry. He had a whole bunch of first names of presidents, but he was Stephen Fetchit in the the 1930s. He started with that of Our Gang, you guys know, Little Rascals and all of that. But later on, he got the moniker. White people gave him the moniker of the laziest man in the world. Now, he was a black man, and he walked around and he was, I don't know, you know, just like this, the worst. And so he was the first black actor millionaire in the United States, the first black actor millionaire. And am I backstage? Can you hear me?
We can hear you. Okay. We can hear you.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Go ahead, Eva. There you go. There she is.
There you go.
So, he was the first black actor millionaire in the United States. So they made a lot of money, right? And so as he got older, he ran out of money. And Hollywood, white Hollywood was done with him, because they built that character so they could laugh and say, ha ha, look at black people. He's the laziest man in the world, and he ha ha. When that wasn't funny to them anymore, he had nowhere to go. Black people rolled him off. They're like, no, we're good, because look what you did. You went all the way around the world with this laziest man in the world character, giving us another black eye. And so, you know, he died an alcoholic, alone, and broke. Now, I'm not saying that's going to happen to Megan Thee Stallion, but, you know, you got to be careful when you're playing a role, because the people who are giving you the script, they're not playing the role. They're very serious in what they're having you deliver to your own people. And as I said, and I always ask people, show me one Jewish girl, even one Mexican girl. And Mexican women, especially in Mexico, they're very sexual, you know. But show me one of their women that are doing anything the equivalent that Megan, Cardi, Lil Kim, I throw her in there, any of them are doing. Put their name in the comment section. Anybody that has a mainstream hit from a Jewish woman, or any of those women that are doing the things that they're doing. Put it in the comment section.
Yeah, well, I tell you what, I wanted to wait till Donovan come back, but I totally agree with you. They don't even try to exploit the other females from different races like they do the African American females. You know, Nikki kind of set it up, and you know what I liked was when my girl from the terror squad came home. Remy Ma. Remy ain't get naked. Remy just put it down. Remy just put it down, man. It could flat out go. You see what I'm saying? But what they doing to these youngsters, it is what it is. Now, Donovan, you said something earlier about Simple E. About Simple E. I want to try something for you. Let's see. And I'm going to see if you can get it, all right? Hold on a second. Let's share this. Okay. And let's go. This me and E.
I'm on a paper chase, nigga, 40 keys in the trunk. And I'm headed to LA where them niggas get drunk. Got that South Coast funk, it's your boy EP. And I'm rolling with my nigga Big Hootie and Uncle T. And know how we do it, we gon' trick these hoes. Roll these low pros and slam these lactos. Start checking yourself when that nigga roll up. We got 3 9s and 3 beans and don't give a fuck. See, 40 times 36 equal a whole lot of bread. Keep them snitches out your business before you end up fed. 25 with L, I can't see that shit. I'm just a nigga hitting licks trying to come up rich. Know you niggas about your paper cause I stay by mine. And I don't bought them fucking laws cause I stay on the grind. And I ain't sweating the time, but this game is funny. I ain't fucking with your dog if it ain't about it. Ain't about money, it ain't about me. I'm a nigga in these streets trying to stack me some G's, trying to flip these keys, trying to move this weed. Broke niggas move around and these bitch niggas bleed. If it ain't about money,
I just want y'all to hear what a real female rapper
trying to stack me some G's, trying
and then I'm gonna mess you up and tell you when we did it.
Broke niggas move around and these bitch niggas bleed. Fell out the game in 95 and a nigga right back. I'm about to sip me a bush while I smoke me a sack. You need some working player, holla, I'll supply your needs. From ounces of sticky green to half a whole key. This ain't a game, nigga, what big weed to cocaine. We got birds flying south and haters calling our name. Got a house in the car and the wife at the bank. You wanna do it like I do it, but you know that you can't. 10 years up in the game without one fucking charge. So dope in LA, laundered money in Lake Charles. Big balled up in Houston, bad bitches in tight cars. What you boys know about sipping lean? I jelly dog. You see, I'm living like a star and I'm buying the bar. 10 years up in the game, by 23 cars. Drop chopping on these bitches cause you know I get paid. What you know about candy paint? What you know about diamond blade? It ain't about money, it ain't about me. I'm a nigga in these streets trying to stack me some G's, trying to flip these keys, trying to move this weed.
I'm a shot
around and these bitch niggas bleed.
Because
it ain't about money, it ain't about me. I'm a nigga in these streets trying to stack me some G's, trying to flip these keys, trying to move this weed. Niggas move around and these bitch niggas bleed.
Even I'm all about it, and never wearing my sombrero. Make no mistake about it, my game is hella thorough. The type of cheese I'm chasing, it don't melt. I make the most of the cars I'm dope. I'm an entrepreneur, only wear couture. Pink ice on my neck and wrist, I'm hardcore. Got niggas in every color like Lecoq Sportif. More or less to myself to avoid the beef. I rap to pay bills, fuck a bullshit deal. Get ahead with the rhetoric, the #1 draft pick is Erica, the black Miss America, darling. Y'all niggas petty thieving, y'all chumps ain't ballin'. You get a couple trucks, so what? Holla at me when your bitches Bill Gates. Get the fuck out my face. I'm high stepping money, give me some space.
It ain't about money, it ain't about me. I'm a nigga in these streets trying to stack me some G's, trying to flip these.
Now, he can go with anybody. She can go with anybody. But that song is 17 years old. She never took her clothes off. And she done wrote for some of the best in the business. But see, all we did was really chase the money. I never gave a damn about a platinum plaque. Because you could go platinum on your first project. Oh, they sold 1 million records. Well, how much you made? If they made 20,000, they was lucky. So all the shit that you see on TV and all that shit, man, the people don't own that shit, man. Death Row had a room where if they was going to do a video shoot, you had to go to the room, check out the jewelry, they give you the keys to whatever car you wanted, all that shit there. When the video was over, you had to bring all that shit back. But you won't call, is Pac a role model? Is Biggie a role model? Y'all tell me. And for those that just don't believe it, shit. Megan is good people, but she ain't what she portrayed. Now, inside of that song, all you heard me talking about was getting money, man. I moved dope in LA, laundered money in Lake Charles. That was real. I can say it now because the statute of limitations to pass.
But okay, listening to that song, it's my first time I ever heard that song. And one thing that I noticed about the song was, the beat was beaten. It was hitting, boom, 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 fast. But I understood every word you guys were saying. And that's one thing I loved about Simply. I have her album, and that's when it was produced by Dwayne Wiggins of Tony. That's one thing I like her as a rapper. She pronounced every word. You can hear everything she said in all of her raps, everything. And it wasn't about cursing and this, that, and, her WAP. And it was just straight knowledge of what she was talking about. I think she had a song called My Blue Jeans. And I think that's when the girls were wearing the blue jeans, kind of, tight or whatever. I mean, just everyday stuff that you can relate to. And, I hope she's still around because, she dropped that one album and then, I saw mixtapes and stuff later that she was on, but great artist.
I can't say what she's doing to the extent that I want to, but I'll just say this here. A lot of your favorite rappers, Edom wrote for him. Edom worked with Lil Jon, Dwayne Wiggins. Now, I want you to understand, when I would go to LA, that's whose house I would stay at. So y'all tell me who I done fucking work for. Who I done wrote for. You see what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, it wasn't about the lifestyle. I needed my money, man. I needed my money, man. The first time I met Chris Hicks that owned the Loonies that did I Got 5 on it. The argument popped off because he told him, that dude there, he was talking about me. He said, man, that's the best rap I'd have ever heard in my fucking life. Now, you talking to a group that just sold 4 million records. And you telling them that the best rapper you'd have ever heard was me. But it was business because as soon as I came off the tarmac at LAX, the deal was you were supposed to have my money in the airport. So my partner was like, man, don't start tripping, man. Man, I dropped them bags as soon as I came out the door. Say, man, I need that money. If not, I'm going right there to the counter and get me a ticket and go back home. I'm not rapping for free, man. So I guess you could call me like Demetra. You remember the movie Crossroads? Remember Willie Brown, the old blues singer with Ralph Macchio, the little white boy? See, I ain't never made a deal with the devil. I don't know what it is, but I am one of the greatest to ever grace a microphone. I got everything out of the game that I ever wanted. I just didn't get rich. And remember, that's what Willie told the devil. He said, you didn't give me everything. He said, yes, I did. He said, man, I ain't rich. I ain't got a bunch of money. He said, you didn't ask for that. You just asked to be the greatest. That's all you asked for. And see, that's the problem that I have with the Megans and the Cardis. You selling your soul to an industry that don't give a damn about you. And, Janet Jackson said at one time, you're only as good as your last record. You're only as good as your last record. That's why there are certain verses, people want to do these verses. There are certain verses that you just can't do. And I give you an example. Who the hell gonna do a verses against R. Kelly? If he just played the songs that he wrote for other people, he'd bust your ass. But since we talking about hip hop, why ain't nobody running up on Mr. Scarface? Because a 20-year catalog or some real shit, you can't handle that. And once you get to know Brad and you know where we come from, you know all he wrote was what he saw. He lived that life. And to see the transformation that he's made as a man, that's a fucking role model, bro.
I mean, yeah, absolutely. What else do you have besides, your body? And I get it, it's entertainment and all of that. But, back in the day, remember now, it's probably a little bit before our time, but, entertainers, they have to be what you call a triple threat. They have to be able to act, sing, and dance. Like they have to be more well-rounded. But now, as you said, Gary, all these artists they're just the front, right? They don't even write their own music. They just stand up there and they get paid last. And so what else are you going to have when all that is over? Or what legacy are you like? Do you really, when you really think about it, because I know I was 25, I was raising my daughter. She was 4 at the time. But when you're 25, you don't think about your future like, damn, one day when I'm 50, 60, people are going to know me for my WAP or, whatever it is that I was, my body, they're not going to know me for anything else. So to me, that would be pretty scary. Like I would not be able to be taken as seriously as I could have been if I would have made better decisions. And I get it. The payday is large, there's a lot of people who probably wouldn't say no to the type of money that they're making, but you know, up the road, I would imagine you sitting and reflecting like, damn, that's what people know me for. You know.
Well, you know, the one thing I always wanted to be, because back then you had to go in the rooms and, you know, you had to be able to spit right then. You know, your deal could be sitting on the table. You had to be able to spit right then. So what I always wanted to do, if I was in a room with E40, if I was in a room with Be Legit, if I was in the room with the Loonies, whoever, I want you to remember this little fat motherfucker here. I want you to remember that this wasn't the coldest nigga you ever laid eyes on that you've ever heard, bro. And a lot of days I didn't get the deal because I was just better than whoever the fuck I was standing in front of. But I could live with that because I would never compromise myself and sell myself out and become what they wanted me to become. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. So now what do I do? I create an academy with the help of a friend, and we're teaching these kids the music business. Fuck being a rapper. Own the motherfucking label. You feel what I'm saying? They can talk that shit about Suge Knight all they want. This dude went from being a failed football player to owning one of the hottest motherfucking record labels in the history of music. You feel what I'm saying? Say what you want about Eric Wright. He got out the dope game and became who he became. You see what I'm saying? A role model in music is a Cube. It is a Face. It is a Lauryn Hill. You see what I'm saying? And I've been fucked up ever since Lauryn left. Because I was a Lauryn Hill fan. I'm fucked up every time I hear Queen Latifah she's singing. Baby, I need them vocals, man. I need that heat that you bring. Because you have to be able to stand your ground. And that's why female rappers like Latifah and Light, they still relevant. Because they never stopped being a lady. Light never stopped being a lady, even though she wanted a roughneck.
Right.
She never stopped being a lady just because she wanted a roughneck.
But isn't it funny? Like right now, when you go on these nostalgia tours, now a lot of us are grandparents now. Some of y'all ladies are great grandparents and not even 40 yet. But I'm just saying. But like Run DMC, they could go on a tour, and people Houdini, they can go on a tour. UTFO, they can go on a tour and make some decent money. You know, it might not be, you know, super, super big, but they could still tour. But if you get NWA, E40, some of the hardcore rappers, the Dog Pound and stuff, these guys can't tour, you know, like that. They can stay in their local areas and probably get some, you know, good fan favorites. They can't tour because I'm not saying their content wasn't real. It was too real to tour. But most of us that supported that stuff, we're grandparents now. You know, it's like, you know, so what you're saying is about the money and the publishing. That's why it's so important because, you know, regardless of what anybody says, yes, Dr. Dre is a perfectionist, but he's been living off his shit from the 90s, you know, since. He hasn't put nothing out, but he lives off that publishing and all that money and, you know, and stuff that he did back then, knowing that these people aren't going to be on the road, you know, making, you know, whatever they're going to do. So I just think it's weird.
A role model in music is Percy Miller, Master P. You will never see that type of deal again. A role model in music, no matter how crazy they think he is Brian Williams, Birdman from Cash Money. 126 million on the first deal. Yeah, he was stunning like his daddy though. But the work that they put in, the way they learn the game, you see what I'm saying? This is what Megan needs to be doing. Now, if you want to really be a role model, you got your foot in the door. Where's your imprint now? The deal that you signed with Live Nation, where is your imprint? So that you can develop the next Megan Thee Stallion. So that you can develop the next female artist. You see what I'm saying? And for my brothers out there with the conscious rap, like Common and all them, they don't even show them the love they should show them. They don't show them the love, man. You can't do. See, that ain't my lane, so I don't even try to get in that lane. But I just sit back and I listen to them. You know, Andre 3000. These are role models, dude. There were nothing but some dudes in the hood talk that shit about T.I. all they want. There was a conversation that was had one day with T.I., his manager, Jason Jeter. Jeter sat him down. He said, what you gonna do, man? You gonna sell dope or do music? Because Tip was still in the streets. He said, you can't do both. One of them has to be your full-time job. And when he decided to be a full-time rapper, the rest is history. The rest is history.
Quick question. We're talking about like female role models and stuff. I understand she's an artist and she's, portraying a role, whatever. But how many of you guys, if you really know hip hop, Sylvia Robinson, how many of you young people out there know who Sylvia Robinson is?
Man, you going deep in the game. You going back to Sugar Hill, man.
Sugar Hill. She formed Sugar Hill Records. But before she did that, she was famous for the song Pillow Talk. Here's a woman who is a pioneer of hip hop music. That is a role model. Okay. She did stiff a lot of her artists, which is the blueprint of how you get your money from your artists. But that's a role model.
Well, I think that, I've done it. I've taken people that didn't even want to do music. And matter of fact, one of my old pastor's sons, I made his son bring tears to his eyes one day. We had a big convention at the church, and it was a surprise that the pastor didn't know that his son wanted to do gospel rap. And I'm doing straight up what I do. And I say, well, I'm going to work with the youngster. Man, that kid went in that church, and I didn't help him. You know the song, do what you do. And that boy brought tears to his father's eyes. Because when it's in you, it's just in you. Don't sell out for the money. Don't let them pimp you like they pimping you, Megan. You are too talented. You are too talented. And right now, you got the bull by the horns. You can do whatever the fuck you want to do. They not finna stop fucking with you right now. You too hot. So now you got to set yourself up. Because when you ain't selling no more records, ain't nobody gonna give a fuck about your wet ass pussy. They don't give a damn. So, hopefully you don't get dropped back off in the projects.
Yeah, I think she'll be okay. And thank you, Corliss. Thank you. Said I love your hair. Thank you. I think Megan will be all right. She's 25. She's young. She's got a lot of momentum behind her, but I think really more importantly, shame on Maxine Waters for holding her up as a role model. Like I said, I mean, there's so many women who should have, pulled Auntie Maxine to the side and say, hey, you're supposed to be the standard. You are a great grandmother, and hell, probably embarking on a great grandmother at the very least. And here you are writing a letter, and some sort of a love letter, if you will, to Megan Thee Stallion. It's like, come on, surely you should know better, right? I mean, you can't in one breath say Black women are disrespected and this, that, and the other, and then you have a woman, who's every song. Like, I've never heard a Megan Thee Stallion song that wasn't disgusting. Now, I've never heard one song of hers that wasn't disgusting. And so you can't, on one hand, say, well, we're not respected by whoever. But then we get out there and then we, shake our stuff all over the place and talk about the most disgusting thing. Like, I've heard some disgusting music. I'm not saying it started with Megan. It did not start with Megan. But the stuff that I hear from these young girls, it's pretty disgusting. Like, it's beyond nasty. It is like, nobody should ever, hear you speak like that. It's just like I imagine they all sit in a writer's room and like, okay, what's the nastiest thing you can think of? So we could put it on, to put it in your ear. Okay, yeah, let's put it. I mean, it's like, come on. And then all the stuff sounds the exact same. It's like, you ain't saying nothing we ain't heard before.
When you gonna spit a rap for the people, Demetra?
Oh, I don't do that.
I can write you something. and send it over to you.
Just make sure it has a slow beat, because my memory is not what it used to be. Something like that I can do, you know.
Well, see, me, I go into deep thought, and I only write when I have to. And music has always been my outlet. So if I'm having a bad day, then I would go into the studio and I would just leave it in the studio. I have my partner lock me in the studio, and I would just write songs and do music. So I was going through something one day, and I wrote one of the best songs that I ever wrote. It was called "Please Lord, Can You Save Me? Save me from myself." You see what I'm saying? That's where I go and I start thinking. Another good song, "Where the Sun Don't Shine." That's just about the shit that we go through. Like when the Katrina happened, that second verse on that song made a dude from New Orleans start crying when I spit it for him, because that's just the way that I felt, because I had to drive through New Orleans after Katrina to get to work. So I got to see the dead bodies on the side of the road and all that stuff. So if you're going to use music or entertainment in general as an outlet to set the example, then set the damn example. Then set the example. But Maxine, please don't give these people credit for being a role model. I love Charles Barkley. He said it first. I'm not a role model. I just play basketball. I'm not a role model. And he accepted that. And a lot of people beat him up for that. But he was being honest. You see, because he knew he was going to do some shit that wasn't role modelish. Throw a motherfucker through a window at the restaurant. That ain't role modelish. That's Charles Barkley-ish. But they pimp them young girls so hard nowadays, it's just unreal. And any of them out there, you might have some kids out there, and man, that old nigga don't know what he talking about. Put your money on the wood and find out. I'm 52 years old and I walk circles around your ass in a studio. I walk circles around you because when I go in there, I'm not going to smoke weed. I'm not going to drink. It's a recording studio. So all I'm going to do is record. I didn't come in here. I think the wildest shit I ever did though was I had a skit where I wanted it to sound like some people was fucking in the booth. Well, ain't but one way to do this. Let's go in the booth and start fucking. Turn the microphones on. So what you hear is real. I gave it to you real across the board. But it ain't about me. It's about setting the right example, man. It's about setting the right example. And you right, all this shit sound the same nowadays. I can't listen to it. Like T.I. say, man, I grew up on Easy, Cube and Dre, 8-Ball MJ and UGK. I ain't grow up on that garbage. All this shit, I got these cars, I got that. Wait till they go to your house and they do the thing where they come to the house, and you know how they used to go to the house and you show them the house, and then they find out you Bow Wow, but them ain't your motherfucking cars in the yard.
Oh man, yeah, that what was that? Cribs, MTV Cribs, everything was rented and stuff. They would run out and run a mansion next to Maxine Waters out here in Calabasas, and find out it ain't their house and stuff. But that's how the music game is. And like I said, nothing's really changed in music, be it rap, country, whatever. As a matter of fact, you got a lot of artists now. Remember the backup singers for R. Kelly, the Johnson sisters, JS? I heard now that they're going into country, and one of them is married to Mr. Biggs, because right now, I guess country soul is a big thing with that one dude who did the little country song, whatever it was. So the story of music hasn't changed. The blueprint has already been put down. It's just finding your niche. But to sit up there and I got the biggest titties, and think about the damage you're doing to the community at the end of the day. You know what I mean? It's like me being a military person. When we go to a country and we destroy it, and then we say, "Oops, wrong country." The damage is already done. We can't repair that. The people are already dead. It's almost the same thing as when you put out an image of yourself, like Step and Fetch It or anything else, how much damage are you doing in the community? And last but not least, I'm going to say this. You older sisters, it's just like the sisters in the church. Stop competing with these younger sisters. You had your day. It's over. I'm not saying you can't look nice, but it makes no sense that Mama Johnson with the big hat in row 2 is coming in there with a big old tight, dress showing all her legs. It's done. You're 93 years old. Stop it. You're not a young person. Grow old with some dignity.
My big homie, Big Lester, been knowing me since I was maybe 14 years old. And he say, tell him where you have your extra mic. It's simple. I keep my mic. You can see the card on my arm. I keep my mic with me at all times. Do y'all understand how much money I make off that microphone? Because I done killed dreams with some gray hairs. Oh, I'm cold. I run up on you. Man, you finna run up off me. That's what you finna do. Because I'm still in that same mode. I got to be the best in the room, man. But I'm not the best in the room if I've not mastered the business side. If I've not mastered the business side. That's why I love Kanye. Say what the fuck they want to say about this dude, man. This dude came from nothing. He came from nothing, man. And last but not least, I'll say this here. If you want to be a role model, take your ass over to Fifth Ward, Texas. It's a restaurant called Redders. And if we wasn't in the middle of the pandemic, you could pull up there and see that Bentley, that pearl white Bentley. Why don't you ask Jay Prince how you become a role model in the music industry? How you become a role model, a man that still takes care of his whole goddamn community. But we don't even celebrate him like we celebrate some of these suckers. We don't celebrate this dude. And without Jay, wouldn't be no rap music in the South. I'm going to tell you that now. Final thoughts, Ms. Demetra.
I'm just looking at Kiki's comment. She says, I just saw a sister on Facebook in her 70s. That'll give some of these young chicks a run for their money in the looks department, though. Just saying, yeah, that's Babette Davis. I actually met her. She's a big-time staunch vegan. She has a restaurant in Los Angeles, Inglewood, called Stuff I Eat. It's a vegan restaurant. I've eaten there a couple times. I've actually met her in her restaurant, and she looks really good. Like, I know if you guys have probably seen her trending now. She's in a black kind of like bathing suit on Facebook. She's just turned 70 and she works out a lot. I'm talking about like working out. And so yes, Babette is she's a role model for me. I want to be that when I'm 70. So yeah, that's who we should strive to be like. Somebody who is actually doing things that are positive that we all can use from. But again, I just think somebody like Maxine should know better. Again, I never want to try to indict someone like Megan Thee Stallion. I think she's young and she's getting the bag, as they say. And so, but Maxine Waters should know better. So,
final thoughts, Mr. Donovan.
Amen. Again, here you go. When you look at these so-called servants or representatives, you want to see their resume, look outside your front door. Here's a lady who's been in office way too long, and she's trying to identify with a girl that could be her granddaughter, her great-granddaughter, I don't know. But my point is, grow old gracefully and champion the right thing. I'm not saying what Megan is doing is wrong. Again, she's trying to get the bag, so it's not Megan's fault. However, how much damage are you doing to the culture is what you got to ask yourself at the end of the day.
Well, because he like old school music and got love for that boy over there, man. I really think Al kin the Elder Boys. That's what I think. Got the same pigmentation. But I'm an old man, Al, and I'm gonna just leave y'all with something, all right? Presidents to represent me. I'm out for presidents to represent me. Old man, right? I keep my mind on the paper chase. Every day I pray to God that I dodge me another fucking Fed case. Money's the purpose that I grind for. And money is the reason that these real niggas die, yo. Can't live without it. If you got it, you can ball black. Stay climbing every now and then a nigga fall back. These laws cracking back like they swinging ball bats. Say where I'm from, they call it hating. What you call that? These bitches grimy and these niggas shite. They stay in hate mode, daddy, cause they know a nigga make mode. Gotta get this cake though. You best believe I'm staying 2 steps ahead. I'm mentally about to break, so dead presidents is what a nigga out here trying to get. Searching for a million, scratching to be hood rich. It's all gravy when I'm gripping on that wood, bitch. I ain't Britney, but just call me for that good, bitch. I'ma leave y'all with that, man. I'ma leave you with that. But don't let them pimp you. Don't let them pimp your child if they gonna get into the game. And if you need some advice, just holler at me. It's free advice. I give you the game for free. Until tomorrow night, we'll holler at y'all, man.
I'm out for presidents to represent me. I'm out for presidents to represent me.